Hello, good morning, everyone. I'm Oracle Unicorn, and welcome to Shaman Car Messages. We've got coffee. Okay, this will be a general reading for our feminine collective. Oh, there it is. Okay, I just shared with my Facebook family. All right, this is your general reading. Keep in mind this is a general reading. Please take the notes. Leave the rest. Put some things in your back pocket. You never know, you might need it for later. Be sure to check your moon, rising, and Venus signs as my videos do cross connect with each other when it comes to these readings. And take what resonates, leave the rest. Don't let the cards rule you, run your life. I mean, this is for entertainment purposes only. And if you would like a personal reading with me, just email me or message me on Facebook, and I'll get with you when it comes to a personal reading. My personal readings are $2 a minute for a live one-on-one reading with me, and it is $1 a minute for a link that you get to watch as many times as you want. That is personally made to your energy. And that is it. Alright. Here we go for Feminine's general reading. Feminine. Alright, good morning. This is a general reading for our feminine collective. I'm Oracle Unicorn, and welcome. If I can get enough space. No, that's not working. It's too bad. Oh, I'll let this work. Too funny. That is definitely more flat. Alright, go. There we go. Okay, much better. Yeah, much more room. Okay, because I put quite a bit of cards on here. I need to make more papers. Good morning. Okay, General Feminine Collective. Let's see what we've got here. An energy of mourning. Okay. But you're moving forward out of it. That's good. Alright, mourning about hidden information. Opportunity or it's not a, looks like there was a rejection of opportunity or a receipt of money tied to a Queen of Wands. It's like they were playing with it. a rejection of being able to play and have whatever that is. Because you do have the Ace of Pentacles down there at the bottom. So, as much as in the beginning it was small, it turned into something really big. Okay, that's good. You got the Knight of Wands coming in, though, with the Page of Wands. So that's high value information. Because with it being the Knight, that's high value information. With the Page of Wands taking action about these burdens. Nine of Pentacles, something that has been long time built up on. Others of you, this is talking about some sort of receipt of money, receipt of money, and or an opportunity relating to work that you put a lot of work into, and you've constantly been juggling your energies in doing this because you do have the Nine of Wands. So you're on guard, you're protecting this, whatever it is, feminines, you're really protecting it. And it is your Ten of Cups energy. This is wild. Ten of Wands, Nine of Wands. Good thing you ain't got the freaking Ten of. It's not the Ten of You may already know it being basically a betrayal. Ten of Swords. Yo, you got the Emperor, King of Pentacles here, and this is a feminine reading. And then you got the Temperance. I see you being this Temperance, really balancing out these emotional waters. This message is so close. You may be dealing with someone that is an Emperor. Others of you, this person, I feel they could be a rivalry of yours. They're Queen of Wands. They're a female fire sign. They could be an Aries because of the fact that the Emperor is here. Or this fire sign's working with this Emperor. And you got the King of Pentacles, Ten of Cups. And, all right, let's get more into it. And do some more clarifications. What? Snow. Butterfly, East. Natural disaster, confused. Oh, there's something being revealed. Finished. It's being finished. It's in the butterfly stage. Relating to the East. There is on guard. Okay. Carrying everything to the end like a natural disaster energy through the confusion of building and keeping certain things. I'm not saying that it's some of you, yeah, it's you sitting here keeping it safe. But others of you, this is like this, oh, you could have been having your work stolen by this couple or this pair of people. Trying to create some sort of disaster in your life or work. Protection, okay. Knowing you are protected, like you don't know you're protected through this. Like you were seriously protected through this. There could be some like gain stalking going on. There's a balance in truth and justice. I was wondering if this Emperor was a judge. Because you get justice over this Emperor. Some of you, you're getting justice over someone that's an Aries, okay? Others of you, this judge is bringing balanced truth involving a King of Pentacles, because some of you, this is for you, and you do have a male earth sign in your life. It looks like protecting your Ten of Cups energy in your future, now and further. I feel like that's also what's balanced out. Some of you, you're also dealing with a Sagittarius. That's coming out here too. Okay, clarify, justice, change. There's a lot of things shifting around. What about the moon card? Grandmother, tribe energy, mourning, haunted by a death. Grandmother haunted by a death, shaman, tribe. There's a transformation in mourning this death and test of loyalty. Alright, what about the King of Pentacles? Some of you, this is boss. Caged for being able. Well, this person could end up in jail for what they did. Because some of you, you could be Aquarius. Because I'm an Aquarius. Lies, manipulation, or manifestation of Ten of Cups from the distance with harmful intent. Balancing out the expansion and awareness in this, relating to the judge and the justice system, with it being an inside job. A lot of you already knew that. Loyalty, about a physical fight. Could be walking away to loyalty within yourself because someone's trying to get you to be physically violent. It's like their last. It's like their last attempt to make you look exactly what they said. Divine love, blood roots set in stone. There could have been a hello. For some of you, there was a hello test on your relationship. Let's see here. Someone was kind of on Switzerland about it. They were really balancing out their emotions, whether or not they wanted to be in this relationship, but they had some sort of protective energy towards it. They're bossing up. They're starting to see the expansive awareness when it comes to from a distance, a harmful intent. This could be about some sort of person that was in their ear. It could have been a family member. You already knew that. They're coming out of it. They're starting to see the truth and everything that was being whispered in their ear. They're starting to see where the jealousy is really coming from. If you are drug, yeah, if you are on drugs, you shouldn't be here. I don't know why you even on the internet, especially commenting. These comments. Give us a way to have community, all of us. And then the human nature knows how to just completely destroy it. Even if we have expanded awareness in certain things. Apparently, we really don't want anything nice. Anyway, this was so simple. It was like, be careful. There's like a sliver of you. Be careful about the turkey. Oh, you eat your own food. You got onto that too, didn't you? Okay. Temperance. Harmony. I feel like you're holding on to a rope, just waiting for a domino to fall. I see that. Try to give more information. I'm sitting here going, yo, yeah, we all blocked apparently until we get over this hurdle. Dude, I'm sitting in this one too. Yep, waiting, yo. On the Emperor. Some of you are waiting on some sort of lawyer finally, like. Or this judge. Moving forward. Chariot. Okay. So the opportunity is slowly and steadily. Harmful intent. Using drugs. There's almost a poisoning of trying to poison someone using drugs so they can make it look like an overdose and that they were right the whole time. This is intense. Be careful. I'm like, wow. There's a grandfather ancestor that's protecting you through this, really helping you. Some of you, this is friends. Like you think they're friends. And they're looking for a way to kind of like either get you locked up for something because poison kept drugs. See, drugs is right there. To make them seem right because they were lying a lot in court, so they're gonna try really hard to make it seem like they were the ones in the right the whole time. When they didn't all know they weren't. Vulnerable. Make someone vulnerable. Inner reflection. More correct. So to have it in their system and in hopes to overdose. Some poison energy going on. Besides just that. Okay, I'm gonna go up higher. Letting go some sort of allowing yourself to go through a repeated cycle of forgiveness, but like it's not. It's like forgiveness, but constantly having yourself go through it and having to keep forgiving. And someone could be finally wanting to let this go to you for forgiveness through social media about some sort of commitment in the 12 traditions relating to a breakup. Divine feminine trust, Empress energy, Scotland, Mom. To go at a higher level with ice being here, this is why there's a level of lower energies and heightened energies. It all depends situationally because situationally this is more chaotic and intense. This is more laid back, not into as much or in the middle of as much things. So you do have ice having an expansive awareness. So this is a lot of collective of people that decided to join ice Either they know it or they don't know it, but there is awakening of expansion and awareness tied to the stone in Turkey being found out with haunted over a death tied to a shaman and divine love. Something there is this grandmother relating to this tribe that is changed in this form of justice. They, I feel like they had, I'm hearing they had their power stripped from them. Because what they were doing was not a part of the rules of the spiritual, like, groundings of this job. Okay. How do I. Okay. So, some of you, yes, it's the omnipresent force of life, we would say that being God. I would then call it the divine force because it is of both. It is of feminine um, energy, it is also of masculine energy. Um, it has rules, like it has jobs in place. That's like saying God has a job for me in your journey and whatnot. Well, that's the same thing with these shamans. And if you don't do it correctly, you get repercussions. It's cause and effects, especially when it comes to spiritual law. The only reason I feel and have learned that this is accurate is because the very fact of my own journey and me asking the universe, divinity, the divine team to grant me my crown whenever I honored my road of being a shaman in my studies and everything and really practicing my shaman work. And I ended up getting my crown, obviously. So, not only, like they say when it comes to God, God giveth, God also taketh away. Well, the divinity, the divine, and the whole spiritual team gave this person one heck of a gift, and they've had it for a while. They're of grandmother stat, okay? They are, they have been through death, transformation. They were actually very good in their work, okay? This person was on a heavy side of protection and justice within their own ancestral ties. Now, when they took the, I'm going to call it what it is, you took the job, well, this was more or less a bribe. You fell into the trap knowingly. Now, if you didn't knowingly fall into this trap, you had your chances, and you for sure knowingly went into it. Like, because you got test of loyalty when it comes to your own tribe. And yeah, you're going to be haunted for the rest of your life. I'm seeing this person's pretty much blind. And if they keep going in their ways, you will have death, physical, extreme death. And I'm hearing it's not going to be pleasant. um, there are repercussions when it comes to being in the in between, in the veil, when it comes to succeeding in the higher realms, when it comes to succeeding into the ancestral realms. I feel this is why shamans travel through these other realms. Okay, um, because this person learned from their grandfather energy, and I feel like your grandfather is very, very disappointed. You know who you are. Others of you, you are heavily protected by your grandfather. Uh, your grandmother is over here too. You have heavy protection. You feel like maybe you are being haunted. This is not you, okay? You are just in your confusion stage and you're building up your awareness when it comes to exiting out this trap this boss has set for you. Your ancestors are going to help you out of that trap. This is not you, okay? Um, you are definitely moving away from this. Slow and steady wins the race. You will receive your information, you will take action. Okay? You're just waiting for that bridge. Now, you are not the person I am talking about. This person I am talking about literally is stalking certain gifted people. And because of this is why they've entered into the realm of, um, they call them, those, see, I feel this is where your shapeshifter came from. Because they act like something, they put on a skin of something that they're really not, and inside they're actually rotting away. To me, this is what a shapeshifter is. Like, they shapeshift who they are to be fit the what someone maybe it has an idea of projection on of them, so they fit it to gain that person's trust. And yes, we do have crooked ones like this. Um, and more and more as a collective, we're starting to pick up on who, squirrel, that was great. We're starting to pick up on who's more genuine. We're really as a collective picking up on souls that really work from a place of the heart, or they work from a place of greed. Oh yeah, came back. Okay, so with this divine love energy being here, there is a huge um, pull in collectives coming into a very important unification for a huge, see, the unification, yes, it brings in a union, but it's actually going to activate an energetic pulse that is going to trigger more of it. Sometimes it's hard to find the right words. This is why we have this weight and per energy with the chariot, because we needed to test them. Look at what happened. Okay, so without our awareness and the understandings of the masked and the pure of heart and pure of intent, this is how we have all this crookery that we got going on now. So I feel like when it comes to these lessons as a collective being learned, we're being able to break out of this confusion, or pretty much being able to analyze and see through the confusions of some of these things. And if you're not being able to see through the confusion right now, you are in your shift change and ancestral bloodline ties of activation and being able to catch on to this. Oh, everyone, as it's like a human evolution of the brain, okay? It's like an upgrade of the human evolution. But there's heavy test and loyalty. See, that's why there's so much. See, that's why there's a lot of those that are pure being tested, because sometimes, you really don't know your choices until you're put in that position of that choice. With whatever it is that is available or not available to you. With this, it is allowing a lot of illusional, created collective lies to deteriorate. With this deterioration, and this is why the younger generation are really getting very headstrong with this deterioration of illusions. that it's not going to be easy to pull anyone unless they are that susceptible, like easily deterred to pull them back. It's going to be so natural. It's almost like people are going to look at you like, you have got to be kidding me. Like, what age are you in the Stone Age? You know, that type of thing. People are going to start looking at each other when it comes to their actions and the way they treat each other. They're going to start getting to the point to where they're going to look and going, well, what, are you still stuck in the Stone Age? Catch up. Like we're just, some of you are going to really start feeling left behind. And I feel like there's a separation of generations. Mm-hmm. Ah, yes, this is making sense, huh? For some of you. Well, this is why there's a heavy separation of these generations. Either you're going to come into a balanced, different type of collaboration with the new generation and what they're being able to see. And it's going to shift your vision, but it's going to help the younger generation. You're going to be able to fit. And if you don't quite fit and you still feel confused and you want to be emperor energy about it, controlling, then they're gonna look at you like you dumb, like they always already do, okay? And we want to look at them like, oh, y'all just disrespectful. No, they're looking at y'all like, how do you not see what we're seeing? And then they just do whatever they want to do because we've trained our younger generation to be way more dependent than what we're used to. We're used to being, or but way more independent than what we're used to. We're used to depending on each other. We're used to having to need each other, or you're just left with just whatever it is you have in your own family, still leaning on each other. That is really it, unless you didn't have that, of course, you really didn't have that. And so you fit with the new generation more. Well, you're not the one I'm talking about. You're already there in the new shift. This is why there's an energy of poisoning going on, because there's a huge fear of not being able to fully establish yourselves in this new way of being, viewing, shifting as a society. I was wondering when this was going to start. I've been sitting here for years wondering, like, what's the collective? I'm, I'm surprised it started with the new generation. It makes sense why I didn't feel like I clicked so much when it came to the new generation because they were already there to a point. Yeah, they still had their immaturities and stuff like that, but I mean, look out. We were so busy being slave worked, worrying about making it by the skin of their teeth, our teeth. Like, they were kind of raised to be more independent on themselves, and so are the millennials. And the millennials are sitting here in the middle going, this is what it feels like to be stuck in the middle. Like, I'm getting reprimanded for being too much with the new generation, or being like looked at weird for clicking with the new generation from the other end and looked at as immature. And you're just like, can I just like be me? Do I have to like be categorized? So you're like, there's no point in being categorized. Everyone seems to be off the wall different nowadays. Oh man, feminine. So, alright, feminine. Let's see what else we got going on here with this Ten of Wands. What's with the on with another 10? Okay, so there's some food and investigation of food being lot of food, a shipment. I'm seeing huge shipments of food being investigated because of being having some sort of poison in it. That's off to the sidelines in Australia. This there's another grandmother type energy, probably in Australia, an adult friend. So they could be one of your friends. I feel this is social media friend. You have a few of them. Wow, some of you are known. Some of you don't realize how if you have a platform like a work or something another, you don't realize how well you're known outside of your own country. I'm seeing, all right, because I'm not really talking about the countries. I do my own weird thing on Bigo, and so this is why some of my cards have countries on them. Okay, okay, like I have a thing for Bigo, and it's this deck I made for Bigo. And some of you have no clue how much you have very high in people watching you. That's weird. Because they see you as this, they're nervous about it. Why are they nervous about it? Because the protection. You have ancient protection. Primordial. Primordial. Okay, who the fuck ever you are, you got primordial protection, and these other country people, no, they know. Yeah, okay, they've seen you create some crazy disasters for well deserved, and they're just sitting there. It's like your journey is. How do I even describe that? It's like a Harry Potter journey, but hell on steroids. Legitimately, Harry Potter journey. And this boss, you had someone so on your side they were obsessed. That's intense. Um, they could be globally from the east. You also have someone that you have someone that learns from you. And I feel like this person has this energy of Ukraine. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure how you would know this, but you have this energy from Ukraine that you are actually helping them to butterfly themselves on a, how do I describe that? It's not emperor. It's, yes, boss level, but it's not what you used to think boss level was supposed to be. Um, you're more, see, they say, all right, they say magician is one of manipulation and stuff like that. But also, the original and upright meaning of magician is to be able to manifest, is to be able to use your sense of awareness and abilities with the omnipresent connection of life. Okay. um, and turning yourself into a butterfly as a better suited leader, not just for your own land, for some of you, but for your own collective. Because I feel like you saw the shift, but you didn't quite understand the shift. And once you started to do research with this, you started to listen to someone intently. You really learned. You really learned. Good job. because you really sat here and listened to the way this person actually can form what they see and understand with their observance. And you've been able to accomplish that. Now I feel like you're working at being able to keep it in a peaceful process and pulling things together, not just for your country, but for others as well. Okay? So, this is why you've been put under a spotlight for so long and why it's so intense. Um, this makes sense why I've been going on people. You could be one of the biggest catalysts that keeps a whole world war from getting too bad. And that would make a lot of sense to me, especially with the star card being here. So, above all, if anything, for number one, I believe I'm talking to an Aquarius. Like, we Aquariuses really know how to try to freaking humanitarian put things together. Like, but retaliate, retaliating, like getting back type energy, it's gotta stop. But at the same time, how do you stop retaliation with protection of your own land and of your own people? One of the biggest things was not having any authority. How do you do that without shaking the pot more and creating a volcano? Because we're already on the freaking little line of the motherfucking volcano about to erupt everything. So, um, gradually, communication. But how do you have communication with certain people that present harmony and honesty and integrity with hidden actions that are lacking thereof without it turning into a fight and then turning into a whole big bomb kit and caboodle, right? Okay. Yeah. Well, maybe this is why we have shamans. I mean, even Taiwan's sitting here freaking listening. Get you, man, you hidden out in the backyard, okay? You ain't. mm. When did this turn into a whole freaking world fucking reading, okay? Excuse my language. When I say here, it came up. I don't feel this is very good. I don't feel this is very good. I feel like there's some sort of hidden energy here in the boss, with a boss. And to be personally honest, some of you that's sitting there saying Trump, I don't think Trump knows this is going on in this one, okay? I tell you what, that's why Gemini is confused. Someone in the US is about to get in a lot of trouble. Oh my god. Who did it? Oh my god. Someone's gonna tell on someone. Oh, another country knows about some of the hidden things. That's why they're haunted. They're nervous as fuck. You weren't Switzerland at all. You were playing Switzerland. Y'all are on a rocky freaking horse, aren't y'all? But someone's ancestors is really eating at them. Dude, ancestry loss is a thing. Ancestry loss is a thing. And be careful because whoever you end up wronging, that your ancestry ends up on their side. Like this, I don't know. I don't think this was a rule at all in the in the other realms. I feel like this became a new law. It's a new law. Oh my gosh. That's why they're gonna say something. Because some of you have already seen the new law being put in place. Oh, thank you. That was so sweet of you. I like you too. People are rude. It's okay. We're getting into the new shift where they're just going to be left in timeout and they're just going to want to be more presentable. I mean, we already see it happening with other country rulers, and I don't understand why this is even coming out in my reading because unless it's really that important, like that's weird. Or unless there's specific people watching me that this is coming out because they are on the edge. And so much on the edge. This went from a feminine reading to World War reading. Please keep in mind this is for entertainment purposes only. Do not let the cards run your life. It is not my fault you decide to apply cards to your life. This is too funny. I love it when I see shit like this, even though it can be scary. Because I start seeing some weird ass shit happening to my phone after I do shit like this. Because especially on Bigo. This is gonna make me want to do a Bigo reading. Oh my goodness, this is great. She is the warning, isn't she? That grandmother dying. I don't know that she died. She may have ended up blind or something, almost died, or did die in this tribe. Like, how do I say this? No? Okay. The grandmother took on this grandmother energy that was not. Yeah, just take over resonance that part. This grandmother energy. Okay. The law. Oh man, that's so wild. Okay, this is why it changed. Alright. The spiritual law used to be where if your ancestor fucked up, it goes down the bloodline to get corrected. Now, what I'm being told is this is why there's ancestral shifting going on, is because it's not helping. And it's creating suffering upon people that did not free willingly enacted certain things but are getting repercussions for something they've never done. This has been an ongoing court held thing in the astral realms. They have gotten to the point to where now your ancestors don't help you if you are of ill intent. And they will help your enemy so that we stop quote unquote curses going down through the bloodline. Um, and it's going to help more of the expanded awareness. So that there's not blockages having to break this cycle of generational happenings. Um, I don't want to say occurs, it's happenings because of choices, cause and effects of choices, and it happened to play out. The balancing in the realms. Um, this is why some people have extreme protection with their ancestors and some people just don't. Um, this is changing literally not just because of this specific person, but because of quite a few different others. That's, yeah, I feel like you've even seen how it's been weird because those of you that are pure of your heart and intent, no matter what it is you have to go through, no matter what it looks like to anyone else, you are seeing how your levels of protection are upgrading. And well, that's because it's not ancestral stealing, it's ancestral gifting. Um, Even when it comes to other people with angels, even if you're Christian, angels, you can lose your protection, and that protection gets shifted elsewhere now. This is the death and transformation into our new world earth connective order. Okay, like how the 2012 thing was supposed to happen. Well, this is the solidification of that whole shift of 2012. um that I felt it started there, which is why we're like, oh, I guess this thing don't exist. Well, it was shifting in the after realms, and we didn't see the activity of it until there was a lot of ancestral shifting happening. Okay. Now we're seeing it. And I feel like because I've constantly been going to the ancestral realms and going, yo, like, why is it that there's always crooked people in leadership when we can have pure of heart people in leadership and it wouldn't be nearly this bad? So this is starting to make even more sense to me why this is even happening and why I've said in my other videos when it comes to being on Bigo or just doing card readings in general, warning other countries, be careful what you do because you're going to lose your ancestral protection. They're not just going to go by land anymore. They're going to go by action and intent in what you're doing, in which land they're going to protect by who is of pure intent in what they're doing, either protection or going out of their way to attack, which sucks when it comes to that land's people, or it's a very fruitful when it comes to that land's people. But I feel like this is why there's a heavy importance when it comes to being able to have electricity really out of thin air than to have plants like in um, buildings for plants, like not herb plants, but like huge industry plants. That's what I'm talking about. Industry plants putting pollution out into the earth. We're getting to the point where we are not going to be doing that no more. But there's still certain people trying to be like, oh, it's gonna turn into whole chaos. It's gonna be apocalyptic. Honestly, if we can collaborate with each other with pure of heart, which is going to be really hard because of all of this, mainly this world war thing starting is because of so much human trafficking, and then losing money because of being found out about their human trafficking, or like why do we even care about the money in relating to this? I mean, like, there was a time where we didn't have money and we just traded skills. is it really that detrimental? Like, I mean, or do we literally just mentally create it to be that detrimental? I feel like you can, all the countries in one really can shift easily, but there's too much animosity. Y'all really want to hang on to that much animosity? I mean, like, this doesn't make any sense to me because this animosity is what's creating the apocalypse. While we're sitting here saying that people wanting to stand up for each other and wanting to like commune together and not have war are the ones creating the war. We wouldn't have civil war if we didn't have people that didn't want peace on earth, that didn't want to end their control over other people's lives. And if we just put those people in timeout and say, your money don't do shit, and just collectively help each other in your own leaderships and put the right people in those leaderships, what can these people do besides the fact they pay a bunch of people to fucking back them up? Crookedly at that. And then if you have your own free will to say, no, you a crooked person ain't gonna work for you, the shift, if I feel like the shift can easily shift in a graceful impact with this type of understanding and collaborative building, but it's community building. That's what I'm saying. Like, you really can't have community without really, you know, having a community. Pure hearted at that. And we're getting to the point where we are knowing and not questioning the fact that true nature always comes out. It may take time. Someone may have a lot of money to keep certain things hidden, but there's plenty of other people that already know the truth that are just too afraid because of that person going to kill this person going to kill this person, or this person bombing this person, or this person bombing this person. I mean, really, if you're doing the same thing as everyone else, how are you part of the positive collective? That's one of the biggest things I sit here and ask myself when it comes to Ukraine. I understand your pain. I've had my kids taken from me too. Literally, illegally at that. I get it. It sucks. It hurts. And these are my own blood. But what makes you any better to go and destroy another country's kids just because of your animosity to their leader? How does that make you a better leader? It makes you as crooked as the one you want to sit there and attack. This is why people walk away. This is why good people are left with nothing. Because they'd much rather stand in their integrity together as a positive community than to be as bad in action as the one that's hurting. I get the manipulation. It's frustrating. I totally get it. But the only thing we really can do is shift our focus. Right, we are. We tend to always be alone. But are we alone when we're all entering into that space? When we're all finally one and one together and not wanting to do exactly what these other people are doing, and then finally, right? And then finally being able to shift those roles of power so that they have no way to be able to do so, so that there's none of that going on. And this is where the divinely protection I feel comes from. This is why we have to wait. this is where our chariot is. We all may be in a dark room, those of us that doesn't like that retaliation and just walk away from it, but and think we're alone. I'm starting to realize I'm in a dark room with everyone else that thinks they're alone in the dark room. Because we can hear each other's voices, but we can't see each other. We don't know where each other is. We're having a hard time working together because we've been isolated to keep ourselves from being united. Is that really the way we want to keep going as a whole collective? And I know we can't force people to do anything, which is why we feel like we're just sitting alone in this dark room, waiting for someone to turn on the light, going, where's this light? While we have a lot of these leaders seeing this happening, doing everything they can to try to kill this light, while the other ones are extremely afraid to come together and protect this light for this room, this type of collective unification in this room. And it makes it very hard to be able to protect because we're so afraid to get hit in the midst of it because we don't want to retaliate. And we have learned usually not retaliating, and it's bad. I get that. That sucks and it's terrifying. That's why in the beginning of this I said, how do we do this without more what's that word? Without so much destruction of our own kind and everyone. Because it it seems like out of cause and effect that we're the ones that those that are not in leadership get hurt the worst by those that are in leadership. When usually those that are in leadership are the ones that can't compromise enough to keep crap from going up the handle. Like, if you're in leadership, you would think you have enough communication skills and enough understanding to collaborate without having war. I mean, how do we have a quantum computer and an highly intelligent AI bots? And how do other countries have sex bots? But you can't compromise without bombing each other. You can't compromise without killing off half your own country's people while the crooked ass leader is the one that survives. No wonder people are running to other countries left and right. But what is that going to do? False sense of security because you're in another country that once again doing the same thing as all these others? Like, maybe some of them are doing maybe possibly keeping more harmony in their country. I don't know. I'm not there to go find out. And I doubt they'll ever want me to be there to find out. Unless they want to boast about how well they're doing. And then we have, oh, we'll show them, we can show them how really well we're doing. We'll have Unicorn come here and then we got Germany up in the mix, okay? Germany with their freaking mouths so shut. These cards amuse me. I have fun. Please keep in mind this is a general reading. Take what resonates. Leave the rest. Put them things in your back pocket. You never know. You might need it for later. This is for entertainment purposes only. Do not allow cards to run your life. We are collectively trying to come together and be better. Do better, be better, all be better. No more bombing. Oh, quit hurting people. Fear of sabotaging the divine masculine air lovers bear in Norway. Oh, so this is also about love. Oh, we don't want you to be with this person because they're from this country, that country. Why? It is so interesting to me. We hate being racist so much, but it is one of the most popular things to be. I mean, if we didn't have, are we not like evolved enough to say people are people? Some of them just have bad intentions. Some of them weren't raised right. Some of them are this. Some of them are that. We can educate that. And if you don't want that, we can have, you do your thing. Instead, we had really rich people creating child trafficking and women trafficking. Now we got men trafficking. I don't know. Fucking crazy shit. And how is this even allowed if the presidents of these countries didn't know? How can these ships even go from one country to another country if these leaders of these countries didn't know? They know every ship that passes from one freaking little line over to another line. Have you seen the altercation between Russia and Ukraine? I mean, how do you not know? How do you not know? And then one person wants to stand up for it because they got done gotten tired of it because it's that easily seen because it's so small. And then you've got big kahuna over there with them big balls over there with a flash and a bunch of gold everywhere. Like, yeah, that makes you look much better. Like, where'd you get all that gold? Oh, America? How? Is that why we have so much debt? Why? What y'all been transferring through? And you want to say you're so respectful? Maybe this is why Ukraine's looking at you. Even though it may not even been your fault when it came to Ukraine's whatever was stolen. But you the one up their ass. Why? You got so much damn land? Are you that greedy? Oh, that's why you flash all your gold, right, Putin? Because you that greedy. And why is one of your daughters going through so much hell and the other one's getting upraised? Like they on some sort of gold platform? Why is one of your daughters going through so much stalking, bullying, targeting? Why? Why does she feel so much so deep down inside of her that she has to stand for something and survive whatever she's surviving just to make something better? Why do we have parents trying to kill their own children or selling them, all for money? And it doesn't start off just as drugs. It starts off as not even being able to have a home. In y'all's own countries. And you think running to another country and then making them a third world country and mistreating and bullying their own people is going to make you better? And like, honestly, how is that a race thing if you're coming over here, if you're running to a whole other country because your country is so bad, but yet you have so much intelligence to be in another country? Why are you here? Why don't you go fix your other country? Why am I so hated because I actually want to do something about my own country, even though it seems impossible. I'm not running to some other country because I see my country being drugged down into a third world country. Because then really we wouldn't have this heavy of a homeless problem while we have a bunch of people from other countries not even being homeless. Oh, well, you got ICE, this, that, and another, doing this, then that. Okay, because we got overran. I mean, honestly, no, certain things I don't feel was very humanly right. I agree with a lot of people with that. No, but it wasn't humanly right on our own country to flood us like that, especially with us already being financially hurting. And then because we don't want to be looked at as racist, we now indebted ourselves to a bunch of people that couldn't even fix their own country. They were so afraid of their own country's leader they ran here. But yet Trump wants to be best friends with their leader. Okay, so you got ICE on one hand, and then on another hand, oh man. At this point, since how everyone's a Heinz 47, oh, if you don't know what a Heinz 47 is, a mixed breed, like, fuck yeah, honestly, I'm in their industry since I was 20 and 32 now, and holy fuck, thank you for that because, girl, you don't even know. Well, you do though. I know. I mean, seriously. And how is it I'm getting so torn down in social media platforms? You realize how much Facebook tried to shut me down for standing up for our own country? It's like, who are you owned by? Trying to bring unity in the United States, not division. Hold on. Let me see if I can remember this. I pledge allegiance to the flag to the United States of America. United States of America. And to the Republic. Republic? Okay. Isn't that a bunch of people that's supposed to commune with their people? Okay, yeah, right. Not dictators. Republicans that care about their community. That's what that was supposed to be. We need a dictionary, honey. Indivisible. Hold on. What was that again? To the Republic for which it stands. Indivisible. In one nation. Hold on now. What? One nation. Under God. It did not say Jesus, honey. It said God. Under God. Indivisible. With liberty. Justice system. With liberty. And justice for all. You need to did you forget your Pledge of Allegiance, honeys? Here, let me remind you, officials, since how you're supposed to uphold it. We want you to follow our lives. I'm getting too political. I'm gonna get shut down. Because I care about our people. It's like, we the people. No, we the rich. I'm Canadian still. You got your own pledges too, with you being Canadian. That can go with the whole same thing with your own community. It's funny. I mean, really. Absolutely not. What? Absolutely not what? Oh man, I made someone mad. Oh, I find myself so funny. I can't. I love this work, and I can't help myself sometimes. I really try not to get political. I promise you. Okay? Because when you are an official leader of a specific country, what is your job? Well, first and foremost, it's that country and that country's people, I would think. I don't know. I done lost the dictionary that they have because they telling us certain words mean this, and I'm going, when did school change? I don't know if it happened for y'all in Canada, but we got our children doing math problems like this long. When we grew up, it was only like showing your work. It was like simple, like this long. You gotta do all this extra stuff coming from fucking nowhere. I'm like, I don't know what this is. I don't know how you get what you got. Who makes sense to me? That's awesome. That's what's up, jukebox. You know how many times I've had people comment on my Facebook saying unicorn for president, and I'm going, man, there's so much of a huge ass target on my back. I don't know if that's even possible. Like, I don't know, don't be. I love this bird. That's what's up, yo. That's what's up, Juice Box. Oh man. So that's our feminine reading. We're gonna go ahead into okay. So we got Cuba over here doing the 12 steps. Oh, you Canadian as well. Look at y'all Canadians. That's awesome. See, y'all are sweet people that I've experienced. It's interesting because when I meet people like y'all coming here, it's like y'all get confused over the fact of how dog gets here. I appreciate the way y'all are because through generation after generation after generation, oh, thank you. Y'all have stayed such very respectable, sweet people. I have never once needed to say anything discomforting about Canada. And that is impressive. As a whole country, that is actually very impressive. Not only are y'all really respectable people, like, it's not just your officials, your whole collective is very respectful. Usually, you've got your bad apples, everyone does. We should not hold that against a whole land of people, okay? Like, let's call it for what it is. Like, land of people. They're just people. Okay. And I appreciate that because when I hear about Canadians or when we see videos about Canadians, like there's someone that does like jokes and skits, and he's talking about the Prime Minister of Canada, right? How he likes the outfits when it came to another country, and he put on this outfit with that country while they had suits on. So it was so cute. Now I love hearing stories like that. Y'all are a what I you know what? I want to give y'all that credit. Canada, as Oracle Unicorn, y'all are the number one most respectful people that I acknowledge. I've never once had to say anything negative about y'all or bring an awareness about something negative relating to y'all. I've never once. You have very good health care. You care about your people. You, when you go to another country, you're just so respectful. Um, you don't just present respect. You honor it. You walk in it. You are its integrity. And that is something all of us, all of us should take in consideration. Should really like match that because it's not that hard to match. It's really not. It's just part of being respectable humans working with each other. And when it comes to them, I don't think I've ever given any country credit for really much, except for certain things here and there, especially when it comes to Ukraine, man, standing up for what, you know, that's something. But going and getting drones and going and doing the same thing someone else is doing to you, that's, you just kind of lost respect over that. And then having to go keep on going about it. Shaman group collaborations, guides of ancestors. Okay, so the pure shaman collectives are coming together. That was heavily needed. I've said that before on video. I want to see every country shaman. I wanted to see every country shaman. And the funny part is, I don't think y'all really have heavy much of like strict religious um structure. That's not a country because girl, you're good too. You super sweet, you're awesome, and it's just a universe all since other all that's the people that you align with that's on the same path as you. I love the Ukraine. Feel sad for the things they are going through. You good. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm just doing my best because I don't just care about my own country. People, I really care about everyone. You know, it's just when it comes to your country, you have to put your own country first. You have to put your own people first and then collaborate on forth then because if you can't take care of your own, just like they say when it comes to us, if you can't take care of yourself, how are you going to be able to take care of someone else? Exactly with our own countries. If we can't take care of ourselves, how are we going to help others? And that's the thing I feel our own country kind of got lost in. And I feel like it's trying to get on the good side of other countries. So we're hurting ourselves more just to, I don't know, get in good for whatever reason or another. And to me, that just doesn't make sense. It's creating more chaos. And not only in our own countries, but with other countries as well. And it's creating a whole third war. And I get it. You don't want certain people having nuclear weapons that can literally destroy the whole earth because of like lack of compassion for everyone and your own country. I get that. But why go after that country's people who need help than to collective leaders do something when it comes to a leader of another country? This is why I feel like instead of having NATO, why the peacekeeper thing is a good idea. Um, and this is why I feel your peacekeepers really should be shamans, pure intent shamans, like the communal type olden day shamans, what they were actually for. Um, the positive and well-being of their community, of their people, and then, presenting certain things and acknowledge and help to the chief of the people, which would be your leaders. So I feel that peacekeeper thing, so you'll have your leaders, and then you'll have your spiritual, like, shamans. And your shamans will help when it comes to collaborations with the leaders, because the leaders know more on a financial stance. We get that. But us shamans know more on a humanitarian stance, because y'all have been trained to really not care about anything but numbers. So, like, I feel if we really want this balance, it's going to take the balance of both. Because shamans really work with not being tied up into those kind of soul tainting type of things. There's always a little bit of change that happens when it comes to a huge uh, receiving of a bunch of money. So I do feel more on a peacekeeper status, so that we can commune together better. But at the same time, just like you have Macron from France and Putin from Russia, how they're at a table and they can't even, there's so much animosity, they can't even talk. And then they're kind of like snub nosing each other, like, oh, well, I have mine in my ear. And oh, well, you want to say that? I'm just going to put mine down. Like, see, this childlike behavior is not going to get us anywhere. From both sides. From both sides. Like, this is why I feel almost like having, like a therapist having to talk to a couple. Why do I feel like you need a emotional mediator to keep countries from being bombed, when y'all are of position of leadership, supposed to being able to communicate with each other, because that's what leaders do, and protecting your people instead of them being something that can be easily bombed and you stay in leadership and then you just replenish them. Now we see why we have this shift of war. Is war funded? We're starting to ask these questions. And our younger generation don't want to fight for y'all. That's America too. Because you know how many times we've heard about veterans getting back, and like, why do those other countries feel like they have to put bombs on their own children and kill off Americans on their own land? Because there has to be some sort of reason for that, besides it just being like, oh, it's because it's their fault, they're just crazy, da da da, that's why we need to kill them, da 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 da. Wow, this sounds like some narcissistic ass bullshit, because we don't know how to compromise. We don't know how to come together and not kill off each other's people, while your leaders that's creating this issue are being left protected. Not even ancestral protected at that. I don't know why I get into this direction the way I do, but I do. Oh man, I do it, don't I? Okay, so we got the tiger water listening. Okay, tiger, Taiwan. But you got water, so, but the Philippines are already. What are you, Japan? More. They're listening, understanding more family energies of bear tribe, because they're confused about certain things. Now they're going to enter back into your spiritual honings. Like, instead of shamans, y'all got Namioji. What happened to that? Why did, I mean, like, you have so many animes, Japan, about Amyojis and how much they've helped Yeah, you've ended up with crooked ones, but that's no different than your leaders. But you want to kill off all your shamans, Amiyojis, and people that want to stand up for good? How does that make you not a horrible Amiyoji? Suspicious secrets tied to the North. Are you friends with the North? Italy. Yeah. Why is I wonder if France and Italy have something going against each other? Or are y'all just putting certain differences aside so you can be bigger than Russia? Almost sounds like what Turkey was doing. Air. They feel air is suspicious, tied to Da Vinci Code. Gemini. It's the Gemini. The boss. You're back. It will be okay. Something about air, the Emperor. Okay. We're just going to jump. Dang, man, I'm going to need to do another video for the masculines. Even though the masculines are already thrown into this. This is why we go into separate zodiacs. This is exactly why we end up in the separate zodiacs. So that we can really see what the heck got going on. And some of these leaders don't like that because I know your zodiacs. And it's funny. When I started looking up zodiacs for every country, whichever leader for every country, it got to after the fourth or third one, it got to the point to where it was hard for me to look up their zodiacs. I was like, oh yeah, y'all seeing me, don't y'all? So funny. And Macron, you're doing better. But I don't know certain things. There's some sort of sticky situation you've got yourself into, but whatever it is, when it comes to your presentations on like out in the open, it's definitely better. Give you that. Snow, air, mob. So we have another air sign, snow, air mob. That's Putin. What's wrong with that? And Ukraine with the ice. Absolutely not. Dog. Trust. Children. Your back 12 steps principle. Earth. Tower revelation. So there's who else? Who was the Earth? We got Taurus. God, we got Emperor here. So Taurus is up in this. Okay. You're holding balance. You're trying to figure out more of the broad perspective. I feel like you hold old traditional, like mixed with tribe collective holding. It's like your leaderships are actually uh, upgrading. On a positive note, that's actually good to see that in at all. Okay, there's someone waiting. Is Taiwan waiting? Taiwan's waiting, correct. Why? Renewal of purpose. Y'all are waking up. Renewal of purpose with pure intent. Okay. I was wondering, y'all have all, because there's something uncomfortable out in the ocean tied to the officials. Okay. And you're a Pisces. Alright. Since how you're a Pisces. You know what? Let's start going through the zodiacs. I'm having fun. Let's go through these zodiacs. There's absolutely not poison lion. Oh, okay. You know, I know, I know, you know, and you know, I know, you know, I know. Okay. That's as far as we need to know. Uh huh. Okay, cool. There's a new, okay, there's a new Australia, you got a new ancestor. Okay, you're teaming up. Good. Under positivity, not, yeah, friend. Okay. A little off. Be careful. That's why there's this test of loyalty, forgiveness, commitment. Yes, being more committed into the 12 traditions of forgiveness, this integrity, honoring, being respectable, presentable, um, all these things. I so much wish for our country. Greenland. You know what? With Greenland going through what they're going through. What was it, Iceland? I'm pretty sure it's Greenland. Because y'all are standing up for your land. How is that going? You got the King of Swords over here. Alright, we'll put that King of Swords over there. Behind the scenes, secret, mourning. 6 of Wands, that's battling. The death of an earth sign. That's because everyone knows about what it is that you're doing. And you think the one person that you're doing it to doesn't know. Alright. Collaborations in the tower. I was wondering about in strength. There's a little bit of holding back certain strengths because of repercussions. Okay. I get y'all. Alright. But y'all are coming. Alright. Y'all's 9 of Swords are pulling y'all together. Because you're seeing how detrimental this is. CERN. Even CERN. And if we start bombing each other, there's going to be no fucking minimal to nothing hope. This is why they want to go to, this is why they want to inhabit Mars or the moon, because they can see it going this direction. And I mean, if they didn't, I guess we wouldn't have a president that's like, yeah, let's go live on the moon. I mean, like, or support, so let's go, like, yeah, let's go live on the moon. Or let's go live on Mars. So we're going to waste all our resources in doing that instead of cleaning up our nature. Didn't someone create little mini bots that actually can clean the water? He like cleaned a whole lake with them. And I'm sitting here going, if you can do a whole lake like that, why don't you do that to our ocean? But then we'd have the water filled with all these like little microbots. I don't know, like just the chemical compounds and stuff, because the fish eat algae and stuff like that, and all the plastics. And then you can have a tracking system on every individual little one of these things, and you can have them going and cleaning up a lot, even the trash, like trash mounds. Because I kind of had the idea of putting it all in a freaking rocket sent to the sun. Sun's already wobbly though. I don't know if that'd be a good idea, but I mean the fire before it even gets inside the sun, it's gonna blow it up. Blow all that chemical stuff. And if we knock something out of orbit, that will shift us out of orbit. That could be potential. That's bad potential. These bots, these little Microbots would be really the only way to be able to clean this crap up. Eating the crap out of all of it. Anyway, Wheel of Fortune. That's what I'm saying. Why in the world are we putting so much money to useless crap when we can use it for so much better and better for our earth on top of that and for our whole collective? I mean, we're already worried about our water source being extremely poisonous. I know. This totally gets this. I mean, Japanese are so good at figuring some of this stuff out. And China, pretty smart too. But dang, what nature do you got left in your land? So damn smart, but just want to kill everything off. Like, come on now. So intelligent, so smart. I'm not even calling y'all dumb. I'm going, you're so smart. Can we please use it for good? Please? I mean, do I gotta beg? Your own people begging ain't even working. It's almost like they'd rather kill the whole world off before they die off, and then if they die off, then it's okay. Four of Cups, rejection. Oh goodness. Or contemplation. Okay, let's see. Because we got green one over here, King of Swords. Now I'm starting to realize why this King of Swords just been sitting in my freaking reading. How much for a bet you'll ask a Gemini? Okay, so we got Pisces up here. That's why the Queen of Cups. Oh, that's why you're here. That's why the Queen of Cups. She got the truth. That's what's gonna take, isn't it? It's gonna take all the females going, you males are killing everything. I guess it's about our turn. We're gonna show you males up. But please, presentably respectful, please. Oh my goodness. You females are hilarious. No wonder. Oh man. Okay. But there's a hang. There's a little jealousy hang. Okay. A little jealousy hang. That's the worry. That's why the Aquarius it's a male Aquarius at that. That's why this male Aquarius has a little bit of worry. Okay. Yes. Don't even go there with the period thing. This is too good. Seven of Pentacles. Alright, I figured it was this whole project is dying. Alright, we're gonna. God, man, the cards just want to keep talking. Yeah, see, we got a King of Cups. That must be the Cancer. You must be England. England's having a tower moment. Ah, bitches! I love knowing y'all Zodiacs. Because you know the King of England? He's a motherfucking Scorpio. Go find out. Or, hold on. I wonder who is Tower. What Zodiac is on the tower? Besides the King of Cups right here. Oh, that's why the King of Cups and King of Swords keeps coming out. This is not even just within my life. This is within the countries. Because I have a Queen of Cups in my life. I've got a King of Cups in my life, and I've got a King of Swords in my life too. Hold on. King of Cups. with a rejection of you're deciding. Oh, you could be having to have a decision about your own Queen of Cups, a message about your own Queen of Cups. Okay, so there is a positive one, and there is one that has been, um, it looks like they're going to be, there's this energy of them being rejected because they're going to be found out, or whatever it is. They had some sneaky, cheeky, and this King of Cups going to put into that because they are gathering a lot of information. You ain't going to be able to stop this evil Queen of Cups. An Aquarius message to you yesterday. That's so wild. You know, you know who you are. Okay, because oh man. Okay, yeah, because we do have the Star card here with the King of Swords. Star card is an Aquarian card. There is this contemplation between you two, and this Page of Cups energy. So that's that emotional news. But there's an energy of watching. There's going to be a lot of studying and watching first. Yeah, and then there's going to be a heavy, swift direction. It's just waiting for the ball to drop. The ball's waiting to be dropped because you got the Three of Wands. So it's almost like they're confused. They're not really sure of which direction all the way to go quite yet. But they are getting all the evidence to be able to take action and grounded action at that. Okay? Investigation. Yes, yeah, I thought so. An investigation is going on. An investigation on the loyalty of the people involved as well. So it's like investigation on top of investigation. Let's see about the Tower. Okay, there is a death or a shipment of death. Oh, jeez. Dang, you about to find out. UK, you about to find out. Okay, you about to find out. Gift. It's hidden as a gift. Are y'all having issues with France? What is France doing? Group collaboration. Oh, they changed. Oh, I bet you did change your mind. Yeah, because bitch, you came up and started telling everybody everything. You're in love with a Cancer. I was wondering if you can give me your reading, please. I don't do personal readings on here. I will do personal paid readings. You just gotta email me at oracleunicorn13@gmail.com. oracleunicorn13@gmail.com. And my readings are $1 a minute. And that's for a link you get that you can watch as many times as you want. If you want a one-on-one reading with me, that's $2 a minute. And that I will do on Google Meet. And I only have Cash App and PayPal. And if you would like to donate, that information is in the description box. Hey, you get it. All right. Change. Yeah, there's a huge change. You can knit in a cocoon. This is cocooning and blossoming out to the butterfly. We have the butterfly there. Physical fight lion. Absolutely not when it comes to strength and the outlaws. Good laugh. Okay. More. Not for you, Philippine samurai. Official intuition guides. Listening. Y'all are listening. Italy moving forward and revealing information because Italy trusts You have been secretly talking to someone. Mm, yeah, you're welcome. But I will be doing the Zodiacs, and the Zodiacs are really, really close to a lot of people's energies. Just right now, I don't know, the feminine reading just shifted through masculine and feminine into a whole, I don't even know. But we'll get into good laugh bear. We'll get into, yes, grandfather. Okay, Empress. We'll get into it. Poison. I'm going to do Pisces, since how that's the zodiac that came up. You want to let me know what your zodiac is. Um, I will make sure your zodiac goes up too. It will be okay, tied to a natural disaster. Someone did need to know that. Relating to manifesting children, tied to air, relating to Cuba. Yeah, y'all are ending a lot of, you're finding out about all these shipments and the activity of these shipments. Yo, I think the king may end up slamming the freaking hammer down, yo, and not even caring what country it involves. This is gonna be the Cancer that does it. I don't know. I think the Scorpio is too afraid. This is gonna be the Cancer. That's why, because Cancer is all about emotional maturity, especially if you're of positive of positive actions, pure intent, and within your actions, you follow within the 12 principles and the 12 steps to a point as well. But there's something about it, you know, a little more. So you're building on it, aren't you? Shifting a little bit. Okay, that's kind of what I did too. We got a Da Vinci Code energy here. And to me, that speaks about France. This is why Italy is caving, because the king got involved. Good job. That's why the emperor came out. On that level, not that you're an Aries, but you are really taking this responsibility under your belt. That's the old that's why the old's falling apart. That's why there's such a mix up going on. That's why there's so much distraction and confusion being created. That's why the King of Swords is up there. That's why they're threatening Greenland, isn't it? They don't like it, do they? King of Pentacles standing up with it too. Go, man. That's what's up. That's what's up. You have either, I'm pretty sure Taurus. I'm pretty sure Taurus is helping you with this. Because they were like, yeah, yeah, that's what I'm gathering too. Who else? You got Taurus going up. So there's going to be a balance a little bit. There are going to be feminines that's going to take in a leadership, but there's going to still be certain males that's going to stay there too and bring more of a balance when it comes to masculine and feminine. So it's not all going to go over into a feminine era. It'll seem like it. Because you need more compassion. Okay. That's why I've been clearing and cleansing my heart chakra with this river. Mm-hmm. Yeah, someone's gonna try. There's gonna try to be some sort of physical fight, but this person's gonna stop it. They're gonna be like, no, you're just trying to trigger more reaction, and there's gonna be a few of you that's gonna be like, what's the point in that? And you're gonna put them on the place. Whoa, you may end up with world court over it. Oh man. It's starting to look like US is under trial. Like legit world court trial. Like US itself, not our president when it comes to the court thing that we already didn't been no. US itself. Because the kings had enough. And if someone in leadership already in this leadership doesn't do something, it's just going to. That's why you're in the cocoon stage of these 12 steps and you're researching the Da Vinci Code. Like the hidden secrets. Ah, that's why that's there. Okay, you're researching the hidden secrets of it. Because something about this is being used through shipments. Investigating the shaman. Not only is the country under investigation, the country shaman is too, along with a few other country shamans. You're being, oh, y'all are being trialed. Y'all are being trialed as leaders yourselves of your own country. And you will find out. That's why the King of Swords is up there. So some of you that's constantly had this King of Swords in shit through your life over and over and over and over and over. And some of you readers know exactly what I'm talking about. But you thought it was someone else. And what's happening for some of you in your countries, especially spiritualists, because, honey, if you're a high ranking spiritualist, you know me. I'm sorry. If you're a high ranking spiritualist, I promise you, you know me. Um, this King of Swords is higher ranking than you thought. Um, the King of Cups is a higher ranking than you thought. The King of Cups, the Queen of Cups is a higher ranking than you thought. Even though this is also mirrored out in a lower vibe, a lower stat form. Okay, let's go to the game way of this. We all kind of know video game lingo a little bit, at least a little bit. Video games got really big, so they are undergoing a watching investigation with leaders in general because yes, this has gotten to be detrimental not only for few countries but for all of them, and this involves everyone. So the king is saying, if my whole country and people is involved, if my life is involved, then I am directly involved. And with my stats and my record and the showing of certain other things and acknowledgement of crooked leadership in your own country, you deserve to have that right and that say, and to bring those others together, even if you feel on a spiritual level they need to be involved in court. a high statured core. And I feel like this is one of the things you feel is this right. In my opinion, as a spiritual conductor, let's call it that, okay? At its simplest form. Yes. Because it is not only detrimental for others, it is detrimental for you. Um, and contractual ties. So, yes, you are going to take full responsibility in being able to restructure contractual ties, like contracts between countries. You're asking for everything. It's almost like you're going to step in as a judge and you're going to prove yourself as an honorable one in being able to do so. And you're going to show in why this person is being questioned as you being a judgment call. Why this person is being questioned, what you have, and what questions they have upon your authority. And you will represent and show why you have and feel the say so in this authority. Okay? For some reason, maybe the Scorpio somehow is trying to stop you. I'm not sure what the Scorpio is afraid of. You may already know, but I feel like you are the official domino. And with your official heartfelt balance and harmony on a humanitarian level, you're going to do this on a humanitarian level. This is why I feel a lot of Aquariuses are going to back you. Because you're doing this strictly humanitarian level. You don't care what laws anyone else has. You don't we're doing this on a strictly nature and humanitarian level. We're going to protect our earth. We're going to care about our land. We're going to clean things up. And anyone's got an issue with it, then I guess you need a new leader. Because we need to come together in this before all of us gets destroyed. You're going to have certain guidelines when it comes to nuclear warfare. You're going to put your foot down. You're going to give reasonings on a humanitarian level because this is non-disputable whatsoever. Non-disputable. It doesn't matter what color. It doesn't matter what community. You expect humanitarian respect. And if you don't have that, as a judge amongst these leaders, seems how you seem to be the only honorable one here and wants to do things in an honorable way, this is exactly why I feel you are going to take full footing. It's going to be a little bit terrifying. I can feel that. But you really are. I don't know when. I don't know how. That's what I'm feeling and seeing. If you'd like to ask me a question, sure. Go ahead. It will be okay. It's almost like I feel there's this little bit of fear when it comes to Putin, a little bit of fear when it comes to China. I feel like Japan will as long as we good, we're okay, yeah, alright, just keep this person off our ass, please. You're gonna have a lot of that. I feel like they're going to be now North Korea. I don't know. Some of these, yeah, I can see you having a little bit of difficulties, but I feel like And Taiwan's a little bit afraid because some of these people are under ruling of someone they feel is not in right leadership. These people are going to start coming to you when it comes to shifting leaderships. And I feel like there's going to be one excruciatingly huge new law in this because of humanitarian stature, and all the human trafficking going on. I have lawsuits against an ex-employer slash company. Will the results be in my favor? Everything is always in your favor for your better good, for your own journey and your own path. As long as you're listening to your heart, not worrying about too much about winning, then to being able to be grounded in your own direction and keep going in your own direction, and know in a way you want that money and you want an energy of justice. I can't give you a clear yes or no because justice comes in many forms. Hello from Bay Area. Welcome from the Bay Area. Justice comes from in many forms. So I can't say yes or no. And nor would it be professional of me to do so, because I know this. You cannot tell someone, yeah, it's going to play in their favor when it could play in their favor in a different way. Like, you could end up losing the case, but it plays in your favor, pushing you down a different road that is better for you. So, honestly, in reality of a spiritual soul expansion level, it will always be a yes. Whether you see how it plays in your favor is on you. I feel like this is why we have silver linings. If it's meant to play in your favor to the point to where you win the case, then you'll win the case. If it's not in your best interest for you to win the case in your own life, however, why, then you won't. But yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for listening. Like, you know, sometimes it's just a perspective, almost like a blessing in disguise, you know? So, with that in mind, you will always create it to be something that is of pure your direction. That's why, yeah, sometimes I still cry when I end up going back homeless because I don't have my own home. Because it's hard for me to hold an income to have my own home with the spiritual life I have. Being a shaman, I mean, this is why I've jumped back and forward through Christianity. Like, what am I just, is this horrible, wrong, was it? And it just got worse going that direction. And I just felt like I wasn't even being myself. I was trying to pretend to be something else I wasn't. So, man. And let me present to you a question. Honestly, if you had a significant other and people kept coming up to them and doing that all the time, even though compliments are nice, but complimenting someone's looks is a way of being like, I like you, and I'm kind of throwing a stick out there to see if and you don't even know if that person is with someone. That's where the disrespect begins. That's where sexual harassment starts. I know it's in a way taught as an innocence, but it's really not. How would you feel if someone kept doing that to your female, like, or male? And thought this baby girl, or your male, like, or your female if you swing the same way, or swing the same way of the sexual orientation, I would say, biological orientation. However, I try not to be disrespectful in that area, but sometimes being blunt is that you gotta be blunt. Just makes it easier sometimes. So it's like, oh, I don't want to say it's this, so. And that's where it starts. Appreciating someone and who they are, that's a compliment. Trying to pinpoint a physical attribute is like saying, I'm so attracted, I'm letting you know undercuttingly, or I'm letting you know secretly. And that's not respectable. This is why, when it comes to people in pairs, they tend to keep the woman in the back, not talking much, because stuff like that starts happening. Oh, she's so this and she's so that, and you're already showing you have interest type thing, and and that's why some males will ignore, a female being around, or only commune or communicate with males. And I feel this is also one of those things when it comes to uh, unbalanced difficulties. Why is it already at 20 minutes in? Did we go into a new video? I know we've been talking for an hour. That's trippy. How did that happen? Did it get deleted? And then they kicked me into a new video? But our likes have been gradually going up. Anyway. Okay, okay. Appreciate you. And thank you. It's just one of those things I usually try to bring an awareness about, because it tends to be a dividing uh, attribute amongst society, and causes friction, while people tend to want to give excuse for it. And even though we can think of 100 excuses as to how innocent it is, it's used as also not of innocence. So this is one of the things that I appreciate when it comes to England, is they are very aware of their speech, and how presentable they are within their speech. Aw. Much love, Chica. Oh, thank you. I appreciate your understanding so much. Because this is also one of those things, what I feel when it comes to world leaders, no matter how hot your land is, if you want to be a feminine of a representation of respect, it would be respectfully presentable for you to not show off your body parts. And when it comes to tribal adornments, when it comes to your tribal adornments, that is fine too, but I feel that it would be respectable for everyone involved to keep certain parts of the body conserved. I'm not saying we have to be all like Iran or Iraq with the whole head gown stuff. I'm not saying we have to go that far. And if that's your culture, that's fine. As long as these females are respected, which is one of the issues a lot of people are having tied to some of these countries and their children. I agree with you on a humanitarian level. Some of these things I feel is not healthy. And I get it on Putin's end, especially if you're a sovereign land. You have no say to change what we do in our culture. Well, to a point, I agree. If your people are respectable to each other and they are happy with the rules they have to abide by or laws they have to abide by, yes, we've got this many of this in or this many of this in. This is why we have usually voting. I'm not sure when it comes to sovereignty country, because really the leader can make any law in that sovereignty. Those people under that sovereignty country has to listen and abide no matter what their opinion is. That is a little bit terrifying. I feel like this is why I've, in a way, walked away from wanting to represent the or stand up in a representation of a sovereignty type shift of a country, because I feel the balance of voting, um, being able to communalize certain spots, kind of create, okay, y'all don't like abortion or y'all do like abortion. Honestly, we have certain freedoms, and you know, it's their body. And I understand some people still see that as murdering something that was there on purpose. And if it didn't happen, they didn't take responsibility in their body. They should own up to that responsibility. Well, that's not your life to live. That is personally their life to live. Now, when it comes to going and entering into someone else's free will and taking their life, that's a whole other thing. That's still first and foremost their body, and that should be, their decision, in my opinion. Yeah, the child should have a decision whether or not it's born. Well, it's going to get born if it wants to be born. It'll just be born through some other person, in my opinion. Like, especially when it comes to reincarnations. If we have a bunch of souls that's already been reincarnated, it gives them their choice. That soul's going to pick someone else. Okay. Um, these are the balance of humanitarian understandings, I feel, um, is very important to balance in with our whole collective, because that's going to make it a more balanced way of being unified instead of so divided in black and white. Um, that's still that person's choice. And the baby still has a choice. The baby still can go get reborn elsewhere. I mean, like, we have seen evidence of reincarnated souls. We've seen evidence of people really being old soul type people. So that is also a choice too. And yes, all right, evidence and Hawaii. Okay, now that we've went through that, and we're somehow only on 28 minutes. Probably should be almost 2-3 hours. Okay, we're going to go into, okay, we were going to do Pisces. Oh man, I'm going to be working because I feel Pisces is important, Cancer is important. Cancer is like number one importance right now. Okay, I'm going to check out what's going on here in my video here. And now I'm gonna do Cancer first. No, I promise Pisces. I do Pisces first. So I gotta keep my word. I'll do Pisces, and then I'm gonna really push myself to Cancer. Oh, I know that I'm being pushed to do Cancer. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and either I will see you in Pisces and Cancer, or until next time. Bye, everyone.